Ifek, good to have you here. It's been a minute. How are you?
Getting closer to my goals, working, keeping my head down, cutting down the distractions.
I like that. Getting closer to your goals, getting rid of distractions, you said? Did you say getting rid of
Yes,
distractions?
yes,
So,
I did.
so if I may ask you, what's the biggest distraction you think you have?
Being loyal and committed to people that have no interest to do legit business or build further with me. If we're not on the same page, you can see my social media, but I'm not wasting any more time or throwing out high level ideas to people who just want to do it a certain way because they want to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That,
Okay, that's really interesting, right? I'm kind of I want to connect what you just shared to the topic of today, being loyal to people. And when I say master your energy field, it's this idea that we're not just physical beings. The medical system, the medical world hasn't caught up or is not doing a great job of educating people that we are not just physical beings. Like you have thoughts that are metaphysical, you have energy that is non-physical. And these two things really does create some form of quality of life or not, right? They actually, your thoughts, your energy, your words have greater impact over your life than most people realize. And that's where this conversation is going to get started, is this idea that if you're engaged in relationships and you're giving your energy away to things, places, and people, right, that is not going to help you manifest or create the reality you're desiring, in a way, that's mismanagement of energy. I'm just going to call it out. Okay. Because this type of information that I share calls for more greater responsibility than most people are used to. Okay. Is that if you know what you want, okay, if you know, so in the series, tomorrow I'm going to be hosting a private webinar in my school, Toyin Umesiri Academy, where I'll be teaching on mastering prosperity. But what I'm doing today is just highlighting one of the things I'm going to share and go deeper in tomorrow. And how I'm going to teach my student is this idea of your energy field and your thoughts, words, actions, behavior, beliefs, value system, how these are the things that create your reality. But just to even highlight one of those things is this idea of your energy, your life force. Where are you putting it? What are you investing it in? And really, from a management standpoint, let's just say management, right? Are you mismanaging your energy? Are you saying you want one thing but doing another thing? Are you giving yourself to things, places, and people that is draining you? And when it's time to work on your goals, you don't have energy anymore. Are you investing your time, your thoughts, thinking about things that have no value? So on and on and on. So let me stop there. Let me stop there. I know I usually go deep, but I want to engage more in conversation. I want today's conversation to really support those who are listening, those who are joining live as well. So again, if any reaction to what I just shared. And
absolutely.
okay.
A lot of times people want to just hang around you because they know that you're hardworking and you're trending in the right direction. But then you have to realize sometimes you have to physically go to another location because people will just hang around or hang on so that they can be part of your success story by doing minimal to nothing. We have to really, like you said, master our energy and our energy fields.
Mm-hmm.
Energy does not get destroyed, it just gets transferred over. So if I know that I'm holding good energy, why am I going to be around those who have bad energy? Because eventually I'm going to be drained, whether I like it or not, either by avoiding them or by being in the company of them.
Mm.
So I think to a greater or spiritual realm is bad association spoils useful habits. I need people that are actively doing good, staying in their good
Mm.
energy, and being
Mm.
around those who have good intentions and good results. Notice I've said a lot of good,
Good.
positive. consecutively. If you have to question somebody or somebody is sometime with you, they're really just planning when they're going to leave you when they get what they want from you. We have to be more intuitive. We have to really read people's personalities. We have to listen for the words they don't say, along with the things that they do say and when they say it. Because there are a lot of takers, but I think a lot of times givers get labeled as crazy because we get tired of the facade and then we say, hey, this is BS. I don't like it. And then they try to label you as something else because you're not going along with their program. But I'll mute my.
This is interesting because it's also about intentionality, right? Is that part of the secrets to success is curating your environment, curating the relationships you engage in, right? Most people go by default. Most people do not exercise the power within them to filter who they affiliate with. Most people just assume that they have to remain with status quo, that they have to be in a certain place, engage in certain relationship with in status quo. And just let me give a little bit insight into this idea of relationships. Listen, anybody you're in relationship with, you're signaling to your mind that you welcome their thoughts and idea into your own universe. Whenever you give anybody access within you to you, consciously and subconsciously, you're signaling to your system that this person is to be trusted, that this person's thoughts, words, and action can influence the direction of your life, whether you know it or not. Because your when I say your system, you have your mind, your your conscious, subconscious self, you have your soul, you have your spirit, you have your physical being. Okay, is that your mind does not really filter for you. Your mind doesn't filter. Okay, what's supposed to filter is what we call at the soul level, your spirit, your heart is what really knows you, where your identity, your goals, dreams, aspiration live in. Your mind just copies and pastes whatever you've accepted into your life and it manifests it. Okay, your mind is like it's just like having a car. Your car does not care where you drive. You're the one driving your car. It just obeys you and follows your order. Okay, wherever you say you want to go, once you put in the GPS, once you start driving your car, listen, your car doesn't question you. Your car just listens to wherever you're going, and its job is to help you arrive where you say you're going to arrive. Okay, the mind is the same way. If you program your mind with the wrong thoughts, with the wrong words, with the wrong belief system, it's not going to question you. It's just going to present to you the physical manifestation of your own thoughts and realities. That's all it does. It does a lot of things, but that's one of the pretty much one of the things you have to understand and master. And that is why when I talk about spiritual awakening, emotional intelligence, is that until you mature yourself emotionally and spiritually, you cannot drive your car, you cannot manage your mind, you cannot handle the force of your own energy and be more intentional with your mind, because your mind is extremely powerful. Only those who have awakened spiritually and emotionally and gained emotional maturity and intelligence actually can drive their car. And this is so important because when you were born, this is why children throw tantrums, is that a child, okay, cannot even manage. A 2-year-old, a 4-year-old does not have the power to control themselves. So they're everywhere. A 4-year-old boy is like everywhere into everything. They're exploring the world, like, right, just doing anything that comes to their mind. And many people today are still throwing emotional tantrums, right? Simply because if you don't handle your own insecurities, if you're not self-aware, if you don't understand your own limitations, your own strengths, your own capacity, your energy can be everywhere and nowhere. And even you are using your own energy, you might be using your own energy to do harm to your own self. Okay, is that a lot of the emotional dysregulations, emotional, the pain, the struggles that, is part of humanity, is that it's part of mismanagement of energy, it's part of ignorance of your energy field, of really awakening yourself to control yourself. Because this is why I teach the human design in my school, right? Quantum Leap Academy. Because what happens is that if you don't master yourself, if you don't master your energy, let me tell you what happens. Your thoughts give direction to your energy. It is what directs where your energy should go. Your thoughts, how you're thinking, whatever you're thinking is what you're manifesting. You are literally telling your energy, create this for me. Right? So if you think certain thoughts of defeat, of loss, of fear, or whatever, again, your mind doesn't care what you feed it. Whatever you feed it, it will manifest it for you. And the first place it's going to manifest it is in your own body as emotions and feelings. This is why this is so advanced. The first physical manifestation of your thoughts, the first conversion process of your thoughts into physical matter, is in your own thoughts, is in your own emotions and feelings. Your nervous system takes your thoughts and manifests the equivalent matter, right, with hormones and all of those things. And it is a signal in your system into the reality you're manifesting. So whether you're happy, you're not happy, whether you are this or that, you manifest your own feelings and emotions. That's the first manifestation ever. Right? That is the first indicator of the thoughts running through your mind, whether they are good for you or bad for you. Your emotions, how you feel in your own body, whether you're happy or not, whether you're joyful or not, whether you feel fulfilled or not, that is the first physical representation of your intangible thoughts. Right? That's the first creation of your energy and thoughts when they mix, when they collide. The chemical reaction in your own body of how you process information, you will first experience in your body your own thoughts. Yeah. And so when you embody the thoughts, the emotions, feelings, anybody you are in relationship with will experience you as you are. And the same is true on the other side, is when you work with other people, you also will experience their own thoughts, their own belief system, their own reality. That's why if you hang around people who don't feel good, who are not happy, soon enough they'll sell you their ideas. You become like them. If you hang around people who are, right, pursuing goals, their thoughts are this, their energy field is positive, you will experience. So when it comes to relational energy, right, is that when you put two people together, ultimately you are experiencing each other's processing of information and energy. So let me stop there. I know I just went deep there, but let me stop and then open the conversation. Ife, and I see Nila and fictional character. Who else? Okay, so feel free, Ife, if you want to add on to what I just shared or ask a question.
Yeah, no. Understanding energy and how it flows means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we have intentions, and we are the sum of the people that we hang out around with the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's just human nature. So if I want to do better, I need to be in a better circle of friends. And I'm talking this way in this in this clubhouse room because in the past weeks I've realized the people that I thought I never had to question, I question them now, and they've shown me that to take advantage of what I offered. So not gonna go in depth. I saw it coming, but I'm good.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If you don't mind, not the full details, but when you say you question, are you questioning their intentions about you or their intentions about their own life or who they've become or
Latter two, the
uh,
latter two,
which one?
what they're doing for themselves, and I think you're referring to a third option. That's part of it.
Yeah.
I directly. If I'm working with somebody, I tell them this is why I'm working with you, and so forth. But I let a period lapse where that person liked having me around, but when it came time to do work, they didn't want to do work with me. So what am I here for? I should have nipped it in the bud a long time ago. So no, it's very complicated. It's like an onion. There's layers to this, but I definitively, and I think that's the problem sometimes. We give people too many chances. Definitively, I'm done with certain situations, and there's not even any amount of money that could have me go back to it. That's that I'm talking about.
Right. Or did you make assumptions that is being proven wrong? Because part of this process, if we don't want to repeat certain things, is that we need to also say, what did I contribute to this? Like, why didn't I see this ahead? Or what led me down this path? What attracted me to this person? Because part of mastering our energy is also like, tomorrow I'm going to be teaching this in my school. Your value system drives the people you attract into your life. Why are you drawn to people is based on what it is you value as well. So there must be something you saw in this person initially that made you make assumptions that this is somebody you want in your life. And then there are certain things you're seeing now that you're closer that is also then making you say, you know what, I need to stay away. This is part of my managing energy. Because what I want to help people understand is you don't have to judge other people. You just need to understand, right, the dynamics of relationship, right? Because the moment you also layer on judgment, there are certain things that happen in the world of manifestation is you may not know down the line if this person still has something to contribute towards your life. It may not be what you think they should contribute. It may even be they introducing you to another person that will then contribute at a higher capacity. So I always try to help people understand, like, withhold judgment, but seek wisdom in understanding your own reaction towards a person or towards a circumstance or towards a scenario. Is that why am I reacting internally in this way towards this scenario? What did this person do that I do not like? Because every reaction is supposed to lead you back to yourself. It's supposed to help you uncover your own needs. Your own emotional needs is being reflected when you react to people. So in a way, it has nothing to do with this person, because this person will continue being themselves. You cannot change them. They have their own life to live. They have their own intentions. They have their own goals. They also have to process their own thoughts, because they too came into your life for some reasons that you may or may not be aware. So ultimately, every reaction, you need to come bring it back into you to say, what's going on in me that made me believe this story about this person, that I got closer to this person, and now that I'm saying I need to retreat, I need to withdraw. Once you understand that, you can then program yourself to avoid similar in the future, or if you see good things, attract more good things. So I try to just bring it home, because ultimately there's no use judging people. There's really no use, because when you judge other people, ultimately again you feel that judgment in your own feelings and emotions. You feel all the yuckiness, the pain is actually being created by your own system. Like they are outside of you, but the moment you bring certain thoughts into yourself and you start processing it, the pain you're feeling, the struggles you're feeling, how you feel about that person, you manufactured it in your own body. That's why when people say, this person did this to me, this person did this to me, I get it. Some people can trigger you. But when you hold on to those feelings, you did that to yourself. There are other classes and things I cover in my school at Toyin Umesiri Academy on how we process emotions and feelings, and how we want to make sure that our system, our energy field, is clean of all of this stuff. Because the moment you embody, oh, people are this person is that, in a way, you may not know if in the future you repel other people that might still be, they might be like this person, but they might be helpful to you. I shared a lot, but let's get your reaction as well. Thank you. Go on.
No, you're spot on. There's nothing to be said. You said it perfectly. I'm just agreeing.
Oh, okay, good. No, and you don't have to agree, really, because ultimately these things that I teach, they just change life. Like they call us to who, it's a call to adjust, it's a call to go deeper. It's a call to higher levels of responsibilities over our own selves, because part of what we tend to do is that we tend to put all blame, all judgment on other people. And we can only do that for so long, right? Particularly when you want to quantum leap into higher levels of success. And my program is really for those people, right? If you like who you are, if you like what you're attracting, if you like your life as it is, then listen, good job, right? You don't need any of the things I challenge you on. You don't need to change, right? Anybody that doesn't feel that feels they don't have to change, that's okay. I'm not going to even engage in that conversation. But for those who have come to a realization that they're their own growth, they have incredible growth potential, they want to unleash their own greatness in the world, that they want to achieve higher levels of success, then this work is really, my school is for those types of people. And that's why I'm I'm bringing these things for us to think about, because most people don't think about it. We just form a conclusion that this person is the problem. I need to avoid them. See ya, bye bye. And then we move on to the same another person. But guess what? Your mind is going to manifest similar realities until you do this in our work. Is that you're going to tend to be repeating similar patterns. Okay. It may not be with this person in particular, it might be with other people, because in the first place your energy field is what is determining and driving, right, what you're experiencing in reality. And so if you don't like what you're experiencing, when it comes to relationship, when it comes to business, when it comes to life, when it comes to success in general, instead of just saying the outside world is the problem, let's check in with ourselves and say, what do I believe, what do I value, what am I thinking, what am I processing within myself that is manifesting this reality? Because the moment you elevate all of that, all of these things disappears. All of these people, they will just fade away. Like you're not going to see them anymore. Why? Because you've deleted it from your system. You've deleted that need, the need inside you, the gap inside you that you're attempting to use other people to fill, right? Whatever it is you feel you need people to do for you, that you feel that you just want people to, or it may even be you needing to be for other people. You need to be this for people, you need to be that you need people to see you a certain way, like you're smart, you're brilliant, you're this, you're that. That need, whatever it is, whether it's you needing them to see you or you thinking they will contribute certain things to you, that's where the danger is. That need. Because what we do to close up our insecurities leads us to a lot of tension and stress and pain and struggle. I know I've said a lot. Let me I see comments. Greetings. More people are joining. Blessings to you. Okay. Thanks everyone joining. Welcome to the space. I see those on Instagram as well. Yeah. So basically, and I appreciate that I mean, you're transparent. You're just, this is just a general example, but trust me, everybody's going through this right now, because part of the quantum leap process is sharing that the thoughts you embody, okay, informs the direction of your energy. The stories you tell yourself, okay, the ones you believe, they are the ones you are manifesting. Your value system, good, whatever those value systems, will determine what you're going to experience in reality, because you are drawing those things into yourself. In a way, you are your own, you write your own story, you are the actor, and then you recruit other people to help you live out the stories you want to believe. So tomorrow in my school, I'm going to go deep dive into making sure that we are manifesting prosperity. If you say you want prosperity, it starts within. We have to go deeply into our hopes, dreams, aspirations. We have to go into our wants. We have to go into our desires. We have to go into our belief system. We go deep into our value system, our emotions, right? We're going to go deep into our mindsets. We're going to go into behaviors, actions, and then externally, the systems, processes that you're going to put in place that will help you, right, accelerate your journey to growth and success. So that's what we're doing tomorrow, 10 o'clock Central Time, my school, Toyin Umesiri Academy. For members, that class is open for free. And non-members, you can register and get a day pass as well. So this is real stuff. It's absolutely real stuff, because people don't tell you that the way you process thoughts and the way you use up your energy, those are the most these two things determine the quality of your life. Like and there's so much to share. There's so much, because I go into mindset, I go into your systems, your soul, your spirit, your heart, your mind, your body, how they all in scientifically connect to helping you manifest. It's not just physical. Manifestation is not just physical. If I ask you, what are you manifesting? Trust me, it's your belief system. In fact, your mind, when people talk about mindset is everything, trust me, mindset is set by your belief system. Your belief system is the destination, right? Your mind is trying to get you to the destination, right? Is that your belief system is where your intentions are, your beliefs are, your dreams are, your hopes are, and your mind is trying to help you manifest your beliefs. Now, if your mind has not been trained and disciplined to tune to your own emotional needs, if you've not matured emotionally and spiritually, this is where people get into struggle, because that mind can start telling you stories about the obstacles it is experiencing in its attempt to help you. And so when you talk about fears, limitation, all of the struggles is the mind telling you these are the obstacles, right? These are the challenges. If you say, what do you want to eat for dinner? If you say you want to eat spaghetti, if you go to the pantry and your mind cannot see all the ingredients for your spaghetti, it's going to tell you, you don't have this, you don't have this, you don't have that. Okay, that's one of the things the mind does. If you say you want to build wealth, if you say you want to build a business, the mind is there designed to help you get whatever you want. However, part of its journey is also to tell you in the physical realm what's missing. However, when people don't do this inner work, they take the presentation of their mind as the final matter. When you are supposed to go into your spiritual state and your emotional state and override that and come up with more energy to push you forward. Most people that don't do that, they give up when their mind says, oh, you want to eat spaghetti? Well, there's no tomato paste. So if your mind tells you there's no tomato, and you stop that algorithm, you stop that processing, and you say, okay, because there's no tomato paste, that means you can't eat spaghetti. End of story. You're going hungry tonight. That's how most people think about their success journey, right? But what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to reroute your mind. It's just like if you're driving a car. Just because you reach a dead end doesn't mean you should stop at a dead end. You're supposed to be more intelligent. That's where wisdom and emotional intelligence comes in. Is you're supposed to be intelligent enough to say, let's reverse. Let's get back to the drawing board. Okay, if there's no tomato paste, what else can we do? Can we find something else? Or can we go to the neighbor? Or can we go to the store? This is the complexity of manifestation. Is that when people don't mature emotionally, spiritually, when their mind says, you can't do this, you don't have money, you don't have people, you don't have this, you don't have this, you don't have this, and it's giving you your shopping list, many people just get overwhelmed and say, you know what? If this is all that it takes to be successful, well, the problem is the president, the government. The problem is the government. Then they start shifting blame, shifting responsibility, pushing it on other people. Oh, it's the school I went to. Oh, it's my environment. Oh, it's these people. Oh, right. Because your mind is giving you a shopping list of things it needs from you, including education, by the way, because you are also supposed to educate your mind. If you say to your mind you want to be a doctor, your mind will say, I don't know what it takes to be a doctor. You tell your mind you want to be a lawyer. If you haven't trained your mind, if you don't go to school, if you don't read, if you don't feed your mind, just like ChatGPT, if you don't feed it, okay, if you don't give it what it needs, your mind will always come up empty if you don't feed it. It will tell you, it's like you want to drive your car and you've not fueled it. You didn't put gas in your car and you want to drive the car. The day you say, dun, 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 the car will not answer you. That's how the mind behaves. You say start, the mind will say no gas, and the red light will be telling wah, wah, wah. That's why I tell you, emotions is like the dashboard. When you are angry, frustrated, yeah, it's a dashboard, it's an indicator. Something is missing in your system. There's no gas, there's no fuel, there's no this. And the mind is saying, what do you want us to do about this situation? Now, if you're not mature emotionally and spiritually to inform your mind, to override those challenges, to speak better things, to speak bigger thoughts, to offer more energy, more support to your mind, people are overwhelmed because your mind is a powerful force. So only those who mature emotionally and spiritually can drive things, can be more aware to saying, okay, if there's no gas, let's go get gas. Right? Only those who are discerning can figure out the gaps, right? And then come up with a strategy to close the gap. If you're here and you want to go to California, you need to gather the roadmap, you need direction, you need this, you need, right? That shopping list is what you need to be working on when it comes to manifesting prosperity as well. But most people will just give up and say, there's no money, there's no time, there's no resources, nobody can do this, nobody can do this, nobody can, right? You just write this whole story and then that's it. They get stuck, right? People are stuck because of lack of emotional intelligence, spiritual maturity to deal with the obstacles and the challenges in reality, to override them, to overcome them, right? And if you don't activate your divine nature, you can't do this work. That's why success is not a child's game. It's not for immature, right? People do, oh yeah, I give up, right? You can't do that. You know, those classes that I have in my school when it comes to emotional capacity, emotional intelligence, human design is to equip people to say, learn how to manage your energy, learn how to design the life you want, learn how to navigate the real world, not your fantasy world. The real world is like if you're driving on the highway of life. Okay, do you just stop when you don't know direction, or do you know how to ask for direction? So this highway of life requires intentionality and mobilizing yourself in the direction that you want to go. You can arrive wherever you want to arrive, but you have to be intentional. You have to learn how to gather direction, on and on and on. But I know, again, I go really, really deep. If you've not accessed any of my classes, check out toyinumesiri.academy and join us. Tomorrow, I'm hosting Mastering and Manifesting Prosperity in my school. This is a webinar it's a private webinar, and we're really going deeper on that topic as well. So, yeah, this is, for me, listen, this is it. This stuff is priceless, right? This stuff I'm teaching is just absolutely priceless. It changes the game, it changes everything. It just changes everything. Welcome. I see America's Supermom. Welcome to the space. So, Ife, what do you have to say before I start wrapping up today? And greetings again, everyone else. Thank you for being here. Ife?
Yeah, I'm here. So basically, we have to know what's real and what's not. Our mind can put us in a space and in a mood that's not really what reality actually is. What I gained from this whole conversation is know your value, know your worth, and be ready to reassess people's role and position in your life. It's not static because we are ever changing and we're trying to be the best version of ourselves. And some people are, and it's cliche. I know that I say a lot of cliches, but it's for a reason. Some people are here for a season, and some people are here for a reason. And the quicker you can differentiate the both with certain individuals, the better you'll be for it.
So let me put this in another perspective for those who are listening, is that there's your inner reality and there's your external reality. Okay? There are the things you're experiencing in the real world. When I say the real world, physical realm, your five senses, touch, taste, you know, sound, sight, smell, the five human senses connects to the physical realm, and those senses take in information. Okay? They take in information. So your mind, and they're directly connected to your mind. Your mind is your information processing system. What you're seeing, what you're experiencing is absolutely real to your mind. And your mind's job is to present, okay, using your own algorithm of who you are and what you term as priority important in your life. Your mind will take in information that is important to you and present it to you. That's one of the things. The mind does a lot of things, and I'll cover that tomorrow during my private coaching session at toyinumesiri.academy. I invite you guys to join and register. So your physical senses, if somebody steps on your toe, that stuff is real to your physical body. Okay, so you are living in your physical body, and your physical body has its own experiences in this dimension, in the physical realm. When people speak to you, when you see things, when you smell things, when you taste things, okay, this is your real physical experiences. That information that comes into you, there's a class, there's 7 classes on human design. The first class of EQ, I talk about how you process this information. 2 people can experience the same physical reality, but the story they take in, their conclusions, the decisions they make with that experience is going to be different. 30 people can be in the same class, listen to the same professor, but how they process what the teacher is teaching them, what they do with it, how they file it in their system, the memories they draw in, what they save in their system, what they're going to even extract and use out of that experience is going to be distinct. Everybody is unique in how they are processing stuff. One of the ways I joke about this is, if Microsoft made 30 computers and handed that computer to 30 different people, 5 years, 20 or 20 years later, if you go and check all of those computers, even though they originated from the same factory line, what will be inside that computer will be very different. Like, because each person uses their mind and their computer to do different things, right? You go to different places, you eat different food, you associate with different people, you affiliate with different people, you are shaping your own reality through that. So even though at the soul level God created us a certain way, we've all morphed, right? Our mind, based on your nature, nurture, culture, who programmed you, your family of origin, your culture, right? Your experiences, the school you went to, the classes you think, right? The things you expose your mind to. 30 years after, you put those people together. They don't think the same way. They don't process information the same way. They are not the same people, even though at the soul dimension level, we are just pure form, the way God has created us. But our mind has been programmed to think and extract meaning from life in unique ways. Okay? So self-mastery is required. It's a requirement 101. Know thyself. Get intimately, right, connected with you and the meaning you are extracting from your own life experience, because what I'm extracting and what you're experiencing or extracting is different, right? Even from this room, people who come into this room with their own life experience, when they leave, they're not hearing the same thing, even though you're experiencing the same reality, the same voice. But what your mind is filtering is doing some things based on who you are. It's filtering out some things, it's filtering in some things. That is your own condition. That is your own condition, right? So those 5 senses, when that information goes into your mind, you go through an algorithm that is already pre-programmed. And so that is why when I talk about mastering and manifesting prosperity, is that if you've programmed yourself to not think in prosperous ways, to be limiting, to be fearful, to this, no amount of classes, courses, anything you take will help until you disrupt. You actually have to disrupt your own algorithm. Many people can be consuming content, going there, year one, content. Listen, you can even form a music just by saying content. You can form a rhythm. I'm calling this, the reason I'm doing these classes and going deeper into manifestation is about time people go into transformation, not just content consumption. Because every content you're consuming is already being filtered by your mind. Your mind will be calling certain things useless, it will be calling certain things useful, it's already filtering it. So you cannot even extract, right, what will help you manifest prosperity, because you're already manifesting at the level of your own consciousness right now. You actually have to elevate your consciousness for you to for you to manifest higher consciousness for yourself. You can't manifest above your own consciousness. So this is why this is so important, is that content is not what we need to be consuming. Transformation is what we need to be undergoing. And many people already have concluded that there is nothing to transform in their life, that they've already told themselves a certain story, that there's nothing wrong with them, but there's everything wrong with the world. And that's also part of the problem. It's a programming. You are the best thing since sliced bread, but every other person in the world have a problem. So you will keep seeing yourself as perfect and everybody else as imperfect, because that's your belief system. I see this all the time. You cannot teach anybody that think there's that they think they know everything. There's nothing to learn. There's nothing to grow. And then they go all over the place saying, this person is the problem. People are this, people are that. So they've programmed their mind that there's nothing wrong with them. But you see, every other human except you have a problem. Have you seen that? So what's going to happen is they will go about the world, right? Like they're the best, and then they come with judgment, and then they tell so their relationship is going to be flawed. How can you be in relationship with such a person? Whether in private relationship, let's say husband, wife, you think your wife is the problem, you are not the problem, or the wife thinks the husband is the problem, she's not the problem. Where do they go from there? No, really, consider that. The government is the problem, you are not. Like, that's one of the major things people have to disrupt. If you don't disrupt that thinking pattern, if you don't see your own humanity, if you don't uncover your own insecurities that is even making you shield yourself, right, from being vulnerable enough to be really human. All humans are flawed. Breaking news. Breaking news. Seriously flawed. Self-sabotage is the number one challenge for manifestation. You are manifesting your own ability to sabotage yourself. Okay. Is it too hot? Because once you understand what you are doing to you and what you are also doing to other people, maybe we can bring in some form of humility and vulnerability and say, woo, wait a minute. Maybe we can prioritize this work I'm talking about. That what you are putting out there, your energy field, your thoughts, what you embody, whether it's arrogance, whether it's pride, whether it's all of these things, it is emitting. We are all picking it. People are picking it up, and people are deciding, not even having to talk to you, they are deciding already. They don't want to have anything to do with such person. And people don't know. There's no self-awareness for people to know that your horror just by itself is why people are not affiliating with you. This is why people don't know this thing. But if you know, once you know, and what creates that aura is pretty much your way of thinking, your belief system, your value system, the combination of the thoughts you are processing within you that also creates your own emotions and feelings. You are emitting your own thoughts every day. That's why when people, if you come close to somebody, all you have to do is see their face, experience their aura, and you immediately, you don't have to talk to them for you to move closer or move away. That's it. Right? That's it. You don't even have to talk to people for you to just say, I don't like, you just move away. Something in you just, it's that subconscious, you've already subconsciously processed their own thoughts. And likewise, and this thing you are doing to people, people are doing it to you as well. Right? Everybody has that system of processing unconscious, right? You go into a room, you can feel the thickness. You can decide if that room is welcoming to you or they don't like you. How did you arrive there? Nobody has to say anything because the collective energy has been polarized by their subconscious thoughts about you. Somebody gives you a look, you can interpret the look. Somebody smiles at you, you know the person is smiling at you. Somebody gives you a high, they don't have to say anything, but we know how to interpret subconscious thoughts of people. Words, yes, we would hear words written, spoken from, but I'm talking about the energy field. Is that when you come into proximity with people, with other humans, you are hearing what they are not saying, you are experiencing and feeling, right? Their collective thoughts, the polarity of their thoughts, if it is well intentioned. You can see somebody angry and you know they are angry. And even seeing somebody angry will also make you angry. You exchange emotions and feelings. So when we now bring this into prosperity, manifestation, business, sales, people don't know that if you don't master your energy field and you're wondering why you are not selling, you need to start asking yourself, right? Are you attracting people? Right? Is your aura, your thoughts, do you think highly of humanity? Because anybody that embodies that embodies negativity about other human beings will repel those human beings, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. If you think people are this, people are that, you are applying judgment. All you have to do, if you carry that within you, it may be why people are saying, I don't know, because we do business with people we know, like, and trust. Okay. So do they know you? Do they trust you? Trust comes out of safety. People have to feel safe with us. And safety requires zero judgment. The moment you start judging people, you don't feel safe anymore. Okay. In order to build trust in the world of business, we have to feel safe enough to be vulnerable with those people. And so the moment we sense judgment, our guards are up, we can listen to you, click like on your comment, we can do all those things, but we'll be guarded, because if we bring our vulnerability, we don't know what you're going to do with it. Are you going to judge us? Are you going to call us name, or are you going to empathize and cover us and serve us in our place of need? So this thing plays out in growing a business as well. Is that part of the work you need to do is to create spaces where people feel safe. And so if you are still embodying, if you embody negativity, this thought, that thought, it's like you are blocking your own money. When we start talking about money energy, is that money is in the hands of people. People spend money on things they need, okay, what they want. They go to people that can help them meet those needs. Okay. So you are looking for money, but technically you ought to be looking for people who have money in their hands. So if people who have money in their hands, right, what do they need from you? They need safety. They need emotional safety, because people will not come if they don't feel safe. If they feel judgment, instead of you serving them, instead of you honoring them, instead of you taking care of them, your energy field keeps saying, right? You know, all those things. You don't know that you are actually chasing prosperity away. So it's not, God is not the problem, right? You don't know that what will help you be prosperous is you need to make sure people feel safe around you. People feel that you love them. People feel that you care about them. People know that you tell them the truth, that you heal them, you make them feel better. And when nobody can do this, when people don't invest in this, and they keep judging people, accusing people, carrying negativity about other humans, those people cannot be prosperous, because the money is in the hands of people. And if you can't care for people, they're not going to give you their money. Hi, America Supermom, welcome to the stage. Tell me, did anything I say right resonate with you? Go ahead, please.
Yes, I love what you were saying, and I had some other stuff that was happening kind of in the background, but I love the point that you were talking about with the five senses connecting to the physical realm, and you were talking about a thought, and I got interrupted. But my question would be, if we're aware about this connection to the physical realm, how do we help other people navigate through that reality in terms of manifesting what they desire based on, and being able to kind of control or, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Because a lot of people get too stuck in what they physically or, what they see, hear, or touch. And it interrupts them being able to see beyond what's physical.
Yes. Yes, I love the question. I'll tell you what I do for my clients and students. The reason I actually designed these quantum leap programs is because of exactly what you just shared. Is that as long as you are running your life based on the physical realm only, you are limited in how much success you can achieve. Let me say that again. Anybody who is still only focused on these five senses, okay, will be seriously limited in how much they can achieve in life. Okay, I can almost put full stop there, because as divine beings, the God in us, the breath of God in us. Now I'm going into spiritual psychology using the biblical, right, Bible principles. The God in us is designed to be awakened to override all limitations, all fears, all doubts. That's the only version of us that can actually solve all these problems. Bible will say, walk in the spirit, you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. The way flesh is weak, right? Bible will say all these things, but people don't understand that the weakness of the flesh is real. You cannot manifest at your highest, fullest potential what God has for you if you don't awaken your spiritual self, if you don't align your soul, if you don't mature emotionally. You cannot do any of these things. You will continue to see the world as it is. And we are called to override. We are actually called to override all limitations. The Goliath you are seeing that is making you say you are ants, you are supposed to go and pick a superior information from the divine side of you and say, I can do all things. Okay? So, okay, let me say this. Christians, today's version of Christians are the least emotionally and spiritually awakened people I've ever seen. They go to church, they listen to preaching, 2 hours, 3 hours Sunday, and they come home. But what I've seen is that Christians don't practice the highest form of spirituality. Listen, God told Joshua, this book of the law, day and night, you need to be consuming a certain type of superior content that will strengthen your spirit. Okay, but people are strengthening their flesh. They are buying the handbags, buying the shoes, investing in physical realms, but they are not investing in their soul. They are not investing in the part of them that will help them manifest all the life that God has for them. So I don't have much to tell people who don't want to go into their soul, into their hearts, into their insecurities. People who don't want to understand how childhood trauma is part of what they have to heal right now. Because I teach very advanced business concepts. And I've realized if you give a BMW to a 3-year-old, they will wreck themselves. Most of these things we're telling people, oh, do this, do this, do this, do this. You can give them the car keys to the future. You can give them Rolls Royce. You can give them the best, which, by the way, when I even say we can give them, not even we. God has already endowed every single person with wealth. Not even me. What can I give you, right? God that created us has already invested hopes, dreams, aspirations, ideas, pictures of your future inside people. Let's start there, because wealth, prosperity is an internal process. You cannot hold in physical realm what you don't hold in your spiritual realm. What God hasn't given you, you cannot manifest. So it's back. That is back to reality. Like, back to I don't even know what to call it. It's not everything. So anybody that is still physical, you're going to see your bank account, you're going to see people, you're going to see the side of life that is broken. You're going to see the side of you that is broken. You're going to see the side of other people that is broken. You're going to see the realm of the world that is broken. That's the flesh for you. That's physical realm. And you, what would you manifest? It will keep manifesting. Wah, 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 wah. The day you want to be prosperous, you have to start listening to what is God saying. In spite of all of this nonsense happening in the world, in spite of all these limitation, fears, doubts that people embody, in spite of all of that, can God be God in and through you? All things are possible to them that believe. What are you believing? Because this system does not care whether you are thinking good. You remember in the Garden of Eden, knowledge of good and evil. One of the reasons I found it was very dangerous and God was trying to keep us from it is that the system he gave you, the system he created, does not discern good from evil. It doesn't. It's like a car. If you like, drive your car into the ocean, the car is not going to stop you. If you like, drive your car off the cliff, the car is designed to obey you and see you as the superior, that you know what you're doing. So listen, if you carry your car to the edge of the cliff, the car will not tell you wah, 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 don't. It won't tell you anything. Your mind is not going to stop you from wrecking your own life. But the Holy Spirit will. The spirit realm will, your soul will. So the quicker we awaken the soul to come and call this mind and call it to order and lead it right and submit it, the mind actually has to be subject of the spirit, so that the spirit is the one ruling your life. Until you get there, the mind is running the show and it will not tell you what you're doing right or wrong. Right? So why the knowledge of good and evil? One of the reasons I found that is God was trying to keep us away from it is that he knows that the way he designed us, whatever you feed your mind, it will manifest. If you think bad thoughts, your emotions will show you. You think good thoughts, your emotions will show you. Whatever you think, your mind will just copy and paste in your body. This leads to a lot of sickness, unwell, brokenness, all the wars and famine and things, the worst things that happen in the physical realm is tied to this thing. Is that the moment a wrong thought is injected into your system, the moment you believe it, you will manifest it. The system that God designed does not discern, does not know what is good for you and what is not good for you. You have to go back to your spirit. That's why we have to let the Holy Spirit guide us, because there's a way that things seems right to a man, the end is destruction. Whatever seems right to you that you are thinking right now, Bible still says, wah, 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 you may be going off the cliff. And your mind can trick you into why do people marry and divorce? You believed this was it. With all your being, with all your mind, you fell in love. Well, it led you somewhere. That's how dangerous. That's why we have to seek God's face on matters that you even think you are smart about. These things, they're all connected. That's why I teach spiritual psychology, emotional intelligence, business, branding, marketing, all of these things, is because until we understand that our system is listening to us, doing what we tell it to do, and if you're not mature enough to lead yourself to do the right things, whatever you're manifesting is what you're manifesting. And most of those programming also started in childhood. So let me just stop there. I answered your question in different dimensions. So let me get your feedback. And if you want me to go deeper or in any other direction, let me know. Thanks for the question.
I love that, because that is so true. And I love how you said, you have to go deeper to the programming, because it really is a good way of putting it for myself. When I started with my business, it was definitely spirit-led. So I grew up as an only child, as a high achiever, got my degree in marketing, but all of that was under the mindset of ego. What that I could do and everything. And during my journey, I went through 13 years of depression and 3 hospitalizations.
Ooh, wow. Sorry.
That hospitalization, it taught me that, it was not me. Because, see, when you have these successes, it builds up the flesh, you're thinking of yourself higher than you ought to think. And when I started my business, it was a total 180 of being spirit led. However, now God is showing me how to use those skills and that information in subjection to the spirit. It's the surrendering that took place in order for me to be able to do the things that I do now with God's power, because it's the favor and the ability to see things and have that added insight that I know I can only get from him. So I love what you said about that, because that didn't happen until I was in a space of recognizing who I was in God and getting back to where I was supposed to be in him, unlocking all of the power and skills and gifts that he provided for me to do his will, right? So I loved it. I mean, this is good stuff.
And what this is about is also helping people early on before these things go south, because a lot of there's so much going on, particularly when people become entrepreneurs, because the entrepreneurship journey stretches you beyond, like it stretches you to the, like it stretches you beyond anything that is humanly possible, right? This program is actually designed for entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurship, right, will unlock everything inside you, and those things will spill out of you. It's like a plane trying to go to ascend. The day you want to ascend, you have to bolt, you have to do more work than somebody that is not an entrepreneur, because you will embark on a journey that will shake everything inside you. Like your relationships, your childhood, all of these things will come flying out of you. Your trauma, all of those things. The reason is because as your mind is trying to solve the equations of life, they result in emotional dysregulation. And that emotional dysregulation will make you remember your odds, your pain, your trauma. And if you don't have the tools to address those things, it can run people crazy. But people don't want to talk about this. Everybody's just painting, entrepreneurship as, oh, yeah. And so when people get into this trap, they then wonder why do everybody says it's working, why is mine not working? It's because entrepreneurship will force you to look in the mirror. You have to fix yourself. For you to do sales, marketing, all of those things, it's pure form inner work. Before you ever come out and sell to people, you have to clean up all of the stuff inside you, because prosperity can only be handled by mature hands. The prosperity that God has for you, it's not for church, it's not for child's play, because it can wreck people. Go on, please. You want to say something?
Well, and I was going to say, it's God that gives you the ability to create wealth. So it's not coming through him, it's not going to be sustainable, or even, you're not going to be able to duplicate it. So I think this is the one piece that a lot of people, they, so you got social media and people listening to the highlight reels. When people are appealing to your senses, they're appealing to, really, it's not even faith, because if you can see it, it's already done. So what do you need faith for? You're not even really practicing the right behavior. And so when people are trying to recreate what they see other people having, some people don't have that anointing on there. And it looks to be something that it's not, because they program you to look at what they want you to look at. And, when you're able to know for yourself inside, everybody has access to the Lord, but a lot of people are conditioned to believe that they have to go through a mediator, or whatever, but I feel like, even when whatever your gift or calling is, you don't need anybody telling you what that is. God's already told you, just a matter of you having the courage to step out and do what God told you to
Right,
do.
right. And
So,
yes,
yeah.
and what you're saying actually is that we have to help people mature to be able to handle the things God is telling them, because it does take courage, okay, to manifest. Because most of the things God will ask you to actually do will defy logic, will go against your mind, right? The level of investment that God will ask you to make, the time is going to ask you to make, does not make sense. It will not make sense. God's way does not make sense to the human flesh. And that's why people want shortcuts. Okay, because the way how God wants to take you from Egypt to the promised land is not, listen, it's not for you to discern, it's for you to obey. If you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. People want to eat the good of the land. They don't want to be willing, and they don't want to be obedient. They don't want to invest time, energy, and resources, and they don't want to do what God is telling them to do. Yet they want to skip steps, and that's why they are falling into the wrong hands. They are believing what they want to believe. They are believing it's going to be overnight. They are believing they will have to invest a little bit. They are believing whatever, whoever is making them believe, they are believing their own flawed states, because the way of God, listen, will actually challenge your mind. You know,
I
Gideon.
love that.
Yeah,
I love
Gideon.
that.
Sorry?
And one thing, I know you have somebody else on stage, but one of the things that I just wanted to say about them thinking that things are overnight, a lot of the miracles that happen, people were dealing with that for years. Let's just take the woman who touched the hem of his garment. The backstory is she was dealing with that for a long time. Yes, she got immediate healing, but look what her faith had brought her to.
Yeah,
Same thing with Noah. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, he's in the ark, but look, he was looking crazy to other people because he was
yeah,
building the ark for years.
yeah. Well, everything you're saying, listen, even let me share one of the things. If we really understand what God is saying, listen, Jesus, this is one of the things God told me today. Jesus had 5,000 people to feed. There was a need. The need is not the problem. The need is not the problem. Jesus faced a 5,000 people were hungry. Jesus even had to say, find me something, find me anything. They found 5 loaves and 2 fishes. It's easy for us to preach these things, but when we need to apply the knowledge in physical realm, we can't apply it. But let me just stop there. But go and read that miracle again. Jesus had, there were needs. There was a time it was pay your taxes. You had to say, okay, the fish, go and find the fish. Whatever you find in the fish, bring it. So who are we then to question God's way? What he wants to teach us is our relationship with him. God actually values who we become and how intimate we become with him more than any of the money we are talking about. That's what I have found. Is that God actually cares more about who you become, that you rise up to become more of a creator, the person that has the power to actually perform financial miracles where there is a need, and you know how to call on him, you know how to find something in your realm that you will use to connect back to heaven, and then you will give thanks, and then you will serve it to the world, and the world will be blessed, and they will give thanks to God. God actually cares more about that than all this other stuff you're talking about. One other thing, Mr. Boss said, I'll come to you briefly. One other thing for people to watch is that God will always give you heavenly gifts for earthly transformation. God will always give you the most superior. Greater is it that is in us. He will give you something greater that you have to hold in you. That's what you are going to use to exchange for all the money you want on this earth, because dollar is printed here on earth. And so if you don't see as superior the heavenly gifts God has given you, and if you don't nurture it and manifest, everybody that has ever created wealth and become prosperous, this is the secret of prosperity. And I'll cover more tomorrow in my school. Manifesting prosperity is that those ideas that you're discounting, those dreams and hopes that comes as a glimpse, they are spiritual gifts, and in it is your wealth and your prosperity. If you trash it, you trash your wealth. If you don't nurture what God has given you, because Everything you're going to use it to serve the world. And as you're serving the world, that's where your money is. So everybody now needs to go and find their money in their own house. God will always say, what do you have in your hand? The stick in your hand can part an ocean. But if you are throwing the stick away, let me just bring Miss Abosede. Welcome. How have you been? Go ahead, please. Thanks for your patience.
Yeah, hi, Coach.
Greetings.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here. Yeah, this is so deep. This is really, really deep because this is the state at which I am right now. When I jump in, I was hearing you talking about negative energy and how it repels or attracts people to you, or how it sends people away from you, rather, right? Yeah, that's kind of deep, though. That's really there. So we believe taking in or being around people that have some kind of energy that doesn't align with our value, or what we I don't know how to say, but that negates our value, right? We think being around them, it's not gonna affect us. It's like taking food,
poison,
either good or bad. For the fact that you take it in, even if it's a good food, for the next 3 days, whatever that comes out of the food will affect it. We stay in your body and it affects your body. So assuming somebody has negative energy, right, and you are around that person, right? If you're not careful, you get to know it will determine. You can even control your energy throughout the day. So you have to look for a way to, can I say, release that energy?
Yeah. One of the advanced method of handling this is what, when you start going into detachment, you actually have to detach yourself. And what the way of the and I'm trying to see how quickly I can share, because these things are advanced, they're very, very deep, right? So what's going on is that you have a system. You've taken some of my classes, so you know when I say human system, the mind, the heart, the body, the spirit, right? You see that system, whether you're awake or whether you're sleeping, that system is running. It's like your car. You didn't design your car, but you are driving your car. And your car is, the engine is designed to run a certain way. This is why I'm teaching people. God designed you a certain way that you don't even know how you are designed. Okay? One of the ways you are designed is that even when you are sleeping, these systems are fully alert. That's why you dream. Right? When you are sleeping, your body is regenerating. Do you know how it's regenerating? You don't know. Cells are turning over when you are sleeping. Your mind is writing and summarizing everything you experience during the day and putting it into your brain, writing into your brain, your memory. Is like the hard drive of your body. Your mind is creating emotion. That's why sometimes when you wake up, you can wake up happy or unhappy. What happened while you were sleeping? You wake up in the morning fresh and you're like, oh, something was written on your system. That is, you don't even know. Your brain, like consciously, you don't know. You don't know what I was going to host this the title I was going to put before, because the last 2 days there are so many things I want to share. One of it was, what are you carrying? Right? What are you carrying around? People don't know the hidden stories that people have poured on you. Your DNA passed down from generations. Grandma's DNA, grandpa's DNA. You don't know those stories that is showing up as anxiety for you. You don't know where it came from. You are well, but your body is reacting. Why is it reacting? You don't know. It's because the cells that was used to produce your body was borrowed generationally. You don't know that cells carry information generation to generation. These things are deep. Let me not go there. Let me not go too deep. But let me stay with detachment. Okay? Is this idea that your energy field, whether you like it or not, Mr. Bosede, whether you like it or not, this system automatically gathers all the information around you. Let that sink in. That's why when you are driving, sometimes you're not consciously driving, but your system is driving. You now wake up. Oh, yeah. I can't even remember the last few seconds. Was I the one? You weren't the one driving, but your system took over. So you are programmed in a certain way that you can go autopilot just like that for a few seconds. You are not consciously driving, but that system takes over driving your car for you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay? So whether you like it or not, as you are right now, that system is scanning your entire environment. That system is reading information, is reading your own information, and trust me, is also reading the information of people around you. Whether you speak to them or not, it doesn't matter. Your system and their system is colliding and exchanging information. What does that mean? What it then means is suddenly some thoughts rises up inside you and you question, you say, where did that come from? Right? Some thoughts just come into your memory like, no, that's not me. That's not how I think. It's because that system gathered the thought processes of other people around you. It stored it. Now it is showing you, what do you want me to do with this information? Do you want to think this? Because you are the one that decided to sit with these people. You are the one that decided to do relationship with these people. And so the moment you are in relation with somebody, you are giving your mind permission to also access the person's information. So here's what happens. The person's thoughts towards you, your mind will read it and know it. Your own thoughts towards that person's system will read it and know it. So suddenly, the fight you are fighting will be what your mind has picked up from their own system that is now in your own system that is now irritating you. Did you get that? If somebody doesn't like you, yeah, go on. You want to say something?
No, I got to you.
Okay. Okay. If somebody doesn't like you, but the person is smiling with you, okay, your system will tell you what is in this person's heart. Only perfect liars can hide what's in their heart. And perfect liars, they are trained. It's like spy. It's like FBI people. You know, they are trained to be deceptive. You can't read those people. I'm saying an average person, right? They are trained deceptors in CIA, FBI, all of those people, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an average person on the streets that is just a normal person. It's not a trained liar, right? Your mind can read the intentions of people. The more sensitive you are, this is where intuition comes in. Okay? But most people that are still on the flesh side, they will say, this person is nice. This person is the nicest person. Proverbs will tell you. The person that tells you, eat this food, but their heart is not with you. I'm telling you that your heart can read other people's hearts. Now, what you do with that information is tied to wisdom. But the first thing that happens is their thoughts, if their thoughts about you, they are awesome, and your mind reads that thought and presents it to you, you will be so pissed off, you'll be irritated, you'll be nauseated, you'll be dysregulated. And that's where that fight is. That's why people will say, you did this to me, you did this to me. What's happening is you are processing their own thoughts about you in your own system. What you are supposed to do when you go through this stuff, and I'm saying detachment, part of detachment is when you mature enough, okay, that you know how to disregard and delete other people's thoughts, opinions, and words about you, and you train your mind to be ejecting them whether you are awake or asleep, and you dethrone all these godified figures that are trying to infuse their authority over your life. By the way, this is the birthplace of witchcraft. People who want to send you thoughts and impose it on you and use it to bind you. I won't go too much into that. That one, we will talk about that one in church. Come to church.
Sounds like
Sorry?
it's like a spell.
Yeah. It's even bigger than a spell. The spell is different from that one. It's different.
Hmm.
It's different.
I love this because this is so true, and this is the thing. If you're caught up in the physical, you will begin to look inside yourself when you feel that negativity about the other person, thinking that it's you. But who you are, you're able to, God tells us to have our armor on.
Right.
Recognize that it's a dart,
right,
it's whatever.
Right.
When you're a spirit. Matter of fact, you can begin to control it because you can see it without allowing it to know that you see it.
Right. And by the way, anybody that is still in the flesh is already under this domination. Like, this is the spiritual awakening I talk about. Anybody that is in the flesh that does not even have not awakened theirs cannot fight off this thing. They are already being held bound without them knowing. All of they're afraid, they are this, it's part of this, it's part of that bond. Is that somebody looks at you? Somebody looks at you, tells a story about you, labels you, and cages you, and other people that come to you will see that same label on you. This is part of when I talk about post-colonial Africa, post-slavery African American, is that people are still fighting off identity that they didn't engineer. Somebody else engineered and said, blacks are this, whites are this is this person is this, female are this, and these are labels. And you now come in, you want to start a business and you don't fight off those identity and labels. It's a spiritual battle for you to emerge and say, that label does not apply to me. I delete it, I trash it. I'll tell, it is my job to tell you who I am, and you're going to listen to me. Okay? Because if we don't do that, if I don't do that, you will not be listening to me as an African American, or right? It's like even African, there are so many things layered in when we say diversity. Who divided us? Labels. Who divided us? Where did the labels come from? What do the labels mean? Does it mean inferiority? No, so let's not go there. I don't. That's why I say come to church. Let's leave it alone, because these are the real affairs. If you don't know how to write your own script and how to tell your own story and how to assert your own intention with authority, this is a spiritual fight you don't understand. You think you can just put a business out there and then you'll be attracting people. If somebody has labeled you and labeled people like you, that you are this and that, you don't fight that thing off and tell a new story, you don't understand that those labels are spiritual conditions that repel people from your business. You don't know that. Maybe it's too advanced.
Oh, this is good stuff. I got pages of notes, girl. You're doing good.
No, this is the real stuff. This is the real stuff. So detachment is one of the ways you and you cannot detach if you don't know yourself. If you are still relying on other people to affirm you, approve you, do this for you, do that for you, that is the entanglement of life. You're still entangled in the affairs of men. You are still being controlled. Anybody that is entangled, anybody that does this, if you are still dependent on people for accolade, for claps, for likes, this is why people don't show up for their business. If you post something today, nobody likes it, will you post tomorrow? If somebody says something and you don't like, would you still come back again? Or would you say, oh, would those people's thoughts and opinion matter than your own? So the day you start the detachment process is for those who mature out of dependency on other people's affiliations, approval, and everything. But if these people now spiritually, energetically, as long as you're seeking somebody's approval, you'll be worshiping them. one way or the other. And once you are worshiping them, your mind also will be bowing to them. And what it means is that anything those people say, your mind will believe that it is superior than yours. Anybody that you think their words is more important than yours, your mind agrees with you. And so, whether that person is physically with you or at a distance, whatever that person says or signals in your direction, your mind will just copy and paste it as if you are the one that said it. Why? Because you gave those people authority over your life and your systems. It's like giving a key, a copy of the key to your house to somebody. That person can enter your house anyhow. They don't need to seek your approval anymore. That's what relationship is. The day you give a copy of your key to your house, to your boyfriend, girlfriend, know that when you are not looking, they can come into your kitchen and eat your food. When you are sleeping, they can project on you. Right? You gave them the key. So part of fighting this thing is you have to get your key. Anybody you gave your key, whether when you are a child or when you are an adult, you gave your key, you need to go and collect your key back and close your door and change your locks. Right? And keep them out there so that they can knock and you can peep on the window and say who is there, and then decide if you want to let them in or not. But anybody you've given the key to your life, to your mind, and you see them, and this thing is true for those who go to churches, who say my pastor, my this, my that. Anybody you are carrying with that kind of relationship, you are giving them priority over your life. You are giving them permission to direct your life. The direction of your life, they will influence it, whether you like it or not. I know this is advanced stuff. Come to class tomorrow. I'm teaching manifesting prosperity. Join us at toyinumesiri.academy, Quantum Leap Academy. This is the real stuff. It's the real stuff, particularly for Christians. Particularly for Christians. Mr. Boss said, so do you understand what I'm saying about the key is not about them. The key is the thoughts they have for you that your mind has picked up and has presented to you. What are you going to do with those thoughts? Right? You don't like those thoughts. They irritate you. They make you hungry. They make you pissed off. So one of the things I tell my kids is learn how to poop. Pardon me for using these words. Is that when you eat food, the digestive system, we are made up of different systems, respiratory system, this system, that system. This is the energy field system as well. There are many systems God made in us. The digestive system, the way it acts is what I'm trying to get you, that your thought system, you need to learn this thing. It's up to us to do that work. The digestive system is automatically programmed to ingest food and separate nutrition from rubbish. Right? Nutrition. It does a very, very good job of crushing. Large intestine. It will spend hours crushing. When it is done, it will take good things. So I'm asking you to take good things from relationships and trash bad things from relationships. That's the way you can move forward. The other day, I posted something on Facebook and I said, I can be poetic at times, right? So I said, you don't have to eat the fish and the bone. You see, every relationship must be deboned. And those who tell you to eat the fish and the bone, they want the bone to choke you. Right? They want you to choke. You can choke on the bone. All the narcissism, right? All the negativity that people who you do life with can also bring to you. Relationships, in business, personal. Listen, we're all humans. You too can be the one dishing bone on somebody else. So this is not one way or the other. Nobody's perfect. I've said it at the beginning. Awareness is the first key. Education, understanding this thing will give us life. You can be the one boning, stroking other people that people are crying about to God. They are praying to God because of you. Let everybody own their stuff. But you don't have to eat the fish with the bone. Is that the skill? Relationship, having meaningful relationship in this life, and prosperity requires you to have this skill, is that you must learn how to see people as they are, Don't judge them, but understand them, their insecurities, their flaw. Because the more you understand your own insecurities, you'll be more graceful to other people. And then learn how to relate with them in such a way that they don't do damage on you. Do you understand? Because if anybody hasn't done this work and they are still operating their life at a certain level, they are dangerous to you that have done the work. That's why the moment you ascend, you need to lock your door. You need to change your door. The people that used to access you 5 years ago, you don't need to be given, they don't need to have access to you anymore. Because the more you've done this work, if you've emptied yourself of all of this nonsense, you cannot be living in the same, you cannot be exposing, you just create more work for yourself. You see, and you then also become a trigger in that same, in your old community. They won't understand you anymore. They will not understand you anymore. So there will be a lot of friction. Okay, if you keep going back to where you used to go back to. I just put that as free for somebody who needed to hear that.
Amen. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I love the part, and I see we have one love up here. The part about, the mindset, this sorting of the good and the bad. We need to do this. A lot of people just expect that to happen involuntarily, like everything else.
Yeah, just by going to church. Yeah.
Right.
This is the same thing I'll keep pushing. This is why my programs are so important. Is that this is not about content consumption. You can read 10,000 books, you can read 1,000 books, you can read 100 books all you want. Part of what people are doing is that they are burying themselves further. Because what we need, think of it as a well. Bible talks about well springs of righteousness welling up to eternal life. Everybody carries their own life source within them. But if you don't unclog, if you don't remove the nonsense that life has thrown at you, poured on you, right? Programmed in you, the assignment is to unclog. But many people are clogged, they are just adding more by consuming unrelated content that is dysregulating them the more. Unprocessed emotion, unprocessed thoughts, they are just compounding the problem by consuming all kinds of content. These classes makes it, the job we have to do is unclog. We have to unclog, right? We have to go deep into removing all the layers. And Isaac was digging well, enemy was clogging. Isaac will dig another well, enemy will clog. This is it. Why every day you need to unclog. Every day you need to have a spiritual discipline of processing your own thoughts and emotion and sorting it out and deleting immediately, forgiving the people you need to forgive, talking to God on strategies for relationship every day. Not if you've gone a year and you've not done this, it's like you didn't brush your teeth for 30 days. It's stinking right now. Many people are stinking. Back to energy field. Is that many of the things we see that repels us is years and years and years and years of unforgiveness, unprocessed stuff, anger, malice, dysregulation. That is, you now want to handle prosperity. Prosperity will tell you, go and clean your hands. Who can ascend the hill of the Lord? Go and clean your hands. Go and brush your teeth. Go and deal with this stuff first before you start handling the things of God. You will clean up. And so this is not about content. In fact, content is doing more damage because the system was never designed to be consuming the volume of stuff people are skipping through 4 hours on social media today. It is making things worse. That's why when we talk about mental crisis, all of this, I don't like there's a class I have in my school on self-therapy, on not the clinical side. If you need clinical help, please go get it. But a healthy, right, skills for a healthy, like ultimate well-being. Everybody needs it, because one of the things I shared in that class is this idea that setting your thermostat, you have to decide who you want to be. Don't let anybody be deciding for you. You have to decide the emotions that you want to embody. That's why even in the Bible, you say the fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, self-control. It will tell you, think about these things. It will tell you, do not be anxious for nothing, but in everything through prayer and supplication, make your request made known unto God. And the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will garrison your heart. Listen, God is telling us, this is the template I have for you. Be kind, be loving, be this. These are the emotions Christians ought to embody. That is God's template. However, real life happens. Somebody says something, they make you angry, you flip out. What I now teach in that class is when you know your baseline, when you set your intention, this is who I am. This is where I'm standing. This is the pillar of my life. I'm standing on God's promise. I'm standing here. When something shifts you, don't let it shift you for too long. Take on the responsibilities of bringing yourself back to your most regulated state. That's therapy. Somebody says something nasty. It's like driving on the highway of life. Somebody did something. You don't know how to shed that negative emotion quickly from your system. Now you are carrying it around from the car. You carry it to your destination. If you're supposed to go and meet somebody that's supposed to give you money, you did not get rid of that emotion. You carried it into, now the person sees you, you're angry, and the person is like, this person, I don't want to do the business with this person anymore. But the person doesn't know that is something that you encountered on your way that got you angry. So part of self-therapy is making sure you take on the responsibility of bringing yourself back to your baseline. And I teach it in that class, right? Because there are no excuses anymore, particularly if you sign up for this entrepreneurship, business, prosperity stuff. You don't have any excuse. Nobody does anything to you. Even if they did it to you, you have to go find help. You have to be your own help. You have to bring yourself back to your happy place. Because the reason this is so important, let me tell you the spiritual ramification of these things. Everything God is bringing to you, angels can show. You've been praying. When angels show up to give you the answer, if they meet you in a negative state, they can't deliver. You can't receive. You cannot receive what God has for you in negativity, because the flow of Jesus, the flow of the Holy Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kind. You have to constantly be making sure that you condition your physical being and your emotional state aligned with the word of the Holy Spirit. That's how you receive. Manifesting prosperity God's way requires you to immerse yourself in the emotions that the Holy Spirit loves to hang around. This is deep stuff. That's why you have to bring yourself back. Bring yourself back. No matter what people do, just bring yourself back. Do it daily. Do it moment by moment. Check in with yourself. Why am I not happy? What's going on with me? Because ultimately, all of those things is that your mind is trying to process and a thought, conscious or subconscious. You may not even know what's going on, and suddenly your mood changes. Suddenly you feel a certain way. Suddenly this. Suddenly da. Suddenly you are dysregulated. Suddenly somebody says something. Yeah, now you're shouting da. You don't know where those things are coming from. But part of the skill is, okay, life is life. What do you do? Right? There are things you cannot control, but the one thing you can control is you. So part of that class is bringing you back. If somebody knocks on your door and drops nonsense, it's not for you to be talking about, oh, why did this person do this? No. Just know how to clean your house, because the next person coming to your house can be bringing you nice jollof rice. So this is what I'm offering people, is the personal responsibility, right? Intentionality, courage, on and on. All of this internal work is how you give birth to prosperity. It's not magic, it is intentionality. And so, when I was saying, what are you carrying? And I'll talk more about this tomorrow in my private school, right? Is that what are you carrying is, if you don't take time out to look within yourself and be honest with yourself in terms of the thoughts inside you, the way you think, how you process thoughts, how you process information, the conclusions you jump to, the judgments, how you think about other people, all of that stuff. Take a look at it. Take inventory of your own life and ask me, or ask yourself, is this something you can present to God as you are right now? Is this something you think God will approve of? Is this something you think people will reward you for? Because that right there is the work. And for you, I want you to be gentle with yourself, because those thoughts, most of them are not yours. Those thoughts, you don't even know where they came from. Those thoughts, they are conditions of being in this realm. And so one thing I say is, like, when you wake up in the morning and you brush your teeth, you don't ask where did the germs come from. You just deal with it with fluoride, you toothpaste, right? When you wake up and you shower, you don't question why is your body stinking. You don't ask those questions, because part of reality, part of being in this realm, in this dimension, is you are exposed to bacteria, germs, stuff. You understand? But hopefully, you've been taught how to use soap and water to wash yourself clean. You've been taught how to brush your teeth. That's what I'm offering right now, is that at the energy thoughts level, part of, and I even designed a class for parents as well, is part of nurturing and well-being is not just physical brushing your teeth, eating good food, sleeping well, all of those things. And those things are absolutely important. We now need to bring those skills. We need to start learning new skills, also additional skills on how to clean our thoughts, to be careful what we're ingesting, what we're exposing our minds to be careful the emotions we embody. We need to now learn new skills for really cleaning those things out, because your emotions are the first physical manifestation of your thoughts. You literally, you are cooking your own reality, because the chemicals and electrical circuits in your nervous system is what God uses to convert thoughts into matter, into chemicals, hormones, stress hormones, cortisol. These are physical manifestation of thoughts. That's the first manifestation of the metaphysical. The mind over matter is that the metaphysical soon enough will become material in the physical realm. Thoughts are converted into emotions, and then the emotions you embody is charging your entire energy field, and it is going to determine what you attract, because your behavior, right, is that part of the process. I know I'm going a little bit deeper for those who haven't taken my class. Part of this process is that kinetic energy, potential energy is converted to kinetic energy, the energy to take action. You see, the energy for mobility. That's how it is transferred to the body, is that the body will not do anything until you give it energy. The body will not manifest. It won't do anything. That's why people say they don't have energy to show up, come here, they can't do right, they don't have time, they sit on the couch. Is that until you think right about your conditions, you're not going to produce the energy in your body to mobilize yourself to manifest the reality you want. You want to lose weight? You will have to give that body a dose of the right hormones and electrical charge kinetic energy that will mobilize it. This is why we talk about motivation, inspiration, transformation, is because all of these things are the output of thoughts, right? In this session, for example, as you're hearing my voice, okay, you are processing, your system is taking it in and processing it, and soon enough, depending on how you process it, right, you will experience, it will translate itself into a physical form in your body. That form can inspire you, motivate you to renew your mind and jump up and get something done. This is how supercharged this stuff is that in a moment, all the miracles, you see, the most of the miracles Jesus performed, it's just a conversation. It's just a conversation. Are you sure you want to be whole? Your faith has made you whole, because Jesus knew how we were designed. That the moment you introduce the right thoughts into your system and you process it, it can give you life. The words of God, they are life. They are spirit. They are life. They are active. People don't understand these things. We go to church, we don't understand that the right words can give you life, life abundantly. You can manifest prosperity when you hear the message God has for you. Your mind receives it, processes it, your heart believes it, gives it energy, and soon enough, you have your body will be free. It breaks the bondage. When they say the anointing that breaks the yoke, is that when the word of God comes into your being and you believe it and you have faith, it actually does something in your physical body that leads to manifesting what the word of God came to deliver for your life. Every word that God speaks is potent to manifest in your body. But the process is, if your mind is not believing it, your heart is not receiving it, you are doubting, you are fearing, none of those things lands. You cannot manifest prosperity if you haven't received it in your heart, if you don't train your mind to say yes to God. You can't. Sorry. Okay. One love. I really apologize. I just finally realized you were on the stage. Please take the stage. I got caught up in the conversation. Thanks for your patience. Go ahead, please.
No, you're fine. Listening in is great information for people, and it's great. It's not too many people who's aware of how a lot of people's vessels has been infiltrated with a lot of pollutions out here, and it's just good to have boundaries, because it's like I'm metaphysical too, so it's like a microcosm, a macrocosm. So it's like you're aware if you get sick from people like it's COVID, but people don't have boundaries when it comes to mental illness and a lot of energy vampires. So you got to protect yourself in other ways rather than if a person's sick or if they're sneezing. And it's healthy to do that because people are unaware of all the things that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It creates damnation in their life, and and then they're doing the same thing, expecting different results. I mean, a lot of people spiral into insanity. That's why you have mental illness is on the rise nowadays. And the marketplace is underwater. I don't know if that's really spiritual because it is underwater city. So, we're underwater as well based on you're a business owner. It's hard to collaborate and network with people because they start to project their inner demons or
insecurities.
The unresolved issues within their self upon you, and it's just a gag reflex of their sickness and illness.
Right.
So thanks for the room.
Oh, thank you. And what you're saying, okay, part of why these classes and the quantum leap coaching is important, particularly for business owner, because you talked about it, right, is that for you to be prosperous and be successful in your business, you must embody a superior human intelligence skill. Okay. If you're not, I'll spend a little time. This is too important. Hear me well. If you haven't fixed your own stuff, if you haven't developed the skills to wrestle your own inner whatever is happening inside you, calm the raging storm, find peace within you, you cannot handle other people's stuff. If you're praying to God, send me customers, send me clients. If God sends you 100 people today, will they overwhelm your system? Will they confuse? Because every single person you are dealing with is dealing with their own stuff. Can you do customer service with them? Because what God needs us to do, and there's a class, women in leadership stuff, right, that I'm preparing, is that for you to be a leader, listen, God is grooming leaders so that you can be able to create space to heal other people's emotions. Because ultimately, I see Elzo, Malku, and Ekao. Okay, greetings. Yeah. So ultimately, business, you are washing people's feet, the debts, the stuff they've been carrying around. Okay? You're washing it away. God even told me, without spiritual awakening, people cannot access the prosperity he has for them. So people have to wake up spiritually. So if you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, this skill is required, right? Deal with your own stuff, because when you develop the skill, when you are ready, you see, the harvest is plenty, the laborers are few, but the laborers too need to be equipped. Jesus discipled his people before he released them. Is that part of the training God has for us is so that we can be custodian of other souls of men. Hear me well. If you're a Christian, hopefully you understand this. Is that particularly post-COVID, people have been dysregulated, scattered all over the place. Everybody's searching for peace and rest and calm in their own body first. All of these my products and services, buy this, buy now, buy this, buy now. I get it. I teach all of the advanced skills, right? When it comes to branding, marketing, and sales. I served as a strategist for Fortune 1, the biggest company in the world. I serve on a board, on and on. I get it. The most advanced business concept, I teach it. I teach government as well. I get all of that. But I'm bringing this, but I'm stripping all of those things that I'm bringing it down to the heart of the matter. When God calls you into entrepreneurship and business ownership, everybody's thinking about the money. I'm telling you, you are being called to care for souls, to care for the souls of people. Your products and services must make people well. They must serve people. They must make people achieve something better, faster. You must be serving the needs of dysregulated people. Because when people want to do things now and they are not able to do it, and they're struggling, and God gives you the wisdom that those people need, he didn't give it directly to them. He gave it to you so that you can serve those people, and those people can say thank you with their money. And by the way, those people who don't know how to say thank you, you can't build prosperity too, because you break the laws of sowing and reaping. That's another topic entirely. So there is a spiritual underlying force that drives business. It's transactions, is energy exchange, is human to human relationship, is serving the needs of people, is soul to soul, heart to heart, mind to mind. So if you cannot understand the foundation that I'm sharing with you now, if you cannot handle people, let me speak it directly. If you think people are crappy, you judge, you are judging people, why would God send you 1,000 of them? Why would God send you 50 of them? This is why we have to get these things right. When we are praying, make sure you are praying the right prayer. When you are saying, God, send me money, you are saying, God, send me people who have money. I will care for them. I will care for them. I will help them. Right? Make sure you are praying the right prayer. Seek ye the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and every other thing will be added unto you. What it means is the kingdom of God is about souls. It's about the well-being of humans. Engineer your business around that. Make people good. Whenever they come into your space, let them live with some form of peace. You see, we go to spa. Somebody will do your nails, right? So that you can wash away the stress. You see? Wash away the stress of people. Let people feel enlightened. Let them feel elevated, because confusion seeks people to the abyss of depression. But if you can enlighten people, educate people, encourage people, motivate people, support people, you have a business. You have a business. But to do that, you first have to pass yourself through the same system you want to sell to other people. The only reason I can be out here sharing this deep stuff with you all is because I've been processed and I'm still in my own process. So God will process you, but you know what? Most people don't even want God to touch them. What is the pruning Jesus talk about? What is the abiding he talks about? Outside of me, you can do nothing. People don't want to understand this thing. You still think you can do it? Keep going. Listen, if it is professional qualification, I can give you a list of degrees and degrees and degrees. What I'm talking about here has nothing to do with degrees. In fact, the smarter you are, the more careful you have to be, because you can be too smart, missing the things of God. You can be so smart and abandoning prosperity and future. The smartest people are the ones that fail at this moment. In fact, the least smartest people are the ones that build wealth faster because they are vulnerable enough to recognize the strength of other people. They see what other people can do that they cannot do. They are humble enough to ask for help. They are generous enough to pay somebody to do something they cannot do for themselves. The people who succeed in business are not the intellect, they are not the ones that have the highest IQ. The people who have the highest IQ, if you don't check yourself, you cannot succeed in business because business is about EQ. We can buy IQ, we can make people program, we can make people build website for us, we can make people do any of these technical things for us. What we cannot make people do is make other people like us. Can you pay somebody else that will then make humans like you? It doesn't work that way. We can pay people to do anything technical, but this work I'm saying is nobody can go inside your soul and start cleaning your trauma for you. You will sit still and brush your teeth and do this work. You can consume content all you want. Nobody on internet or YouTube will ever do this work for you. You can consume 10,000 contents all you want. None of the people will come into your house and be challenging you to settle your issues with your grandmother and mother. Nobody will tell you that. Nobody will, right? But Holy Spirit will be telling you every day. Many people are not listening. So this stuff is the real stuff. And again, my offer is classes, courses that get you doing that work. And because once you do that work, then you move into the next level in my school, the Entrepreneurs Academy, and then you move into higher levels of success. Then we have international trade, export, import. The reason this is important is that as a business educator, business coach, I sit on councils by appointment of US Secretary of Commerce. I do a lot of work with government. Government will keep on saying, Toyin, we can do this for you. We can do this. They keep bringing to me all these opportunities for our community. Then when I talk to God, why is the community not even paying attention? God is telling me, listen, until they are awakened to what I have for them, they cannot even see that this is for them. You cannot claim in reality what you've not received from God. So you have to go back to the soul issues, heart issues. Until they fix that, they cannot claim wealth and prosperity in the physical realm. Because all of those things must land on the hearts of God's people. So that's why you see me keep coming out here, right? It's because, yes, you see me, governments, you see me taking pictures with mayors and governors and ambassadors. And whenever I'm in the room, the things they are talking about, they talk about policies, wealth, and just so you know, let me put this public announcement in this one. If you're an African American, an African descent, anybody of African descent, and you don't build wealth in the next 5 to 10 years, 3, 5, 10 years, it is your fault. I'm telling you, because all the stars, everything has aligned for Africa, Africans, America, everything, heaven has aligned everything to help you manifest wealth at the highest levels possible, whatever you want. So if you don't do the work and you refuse not to do the work for the next 3, 5, 10 years, don't blame anybody. Don't blame anybody except yourself. You can go and be subscribing to Netflix. You can go and be watching movie Beyonce all you want. That's fine. Enjoy entertainment. But this work, if you don't roll up your sleeve and go on your knees and start asking God to help you deal with your inner stuff so that you can receive everything He has for you in your hands. Don't blame anybody. I want this to be a remembrance that somebody called Toyin Umesiri spoke out. You will remember this. You will remember this. So don't blame anybody, because God has appointed people like myself for years, building things that will help your own journey be easier. Be easier. But ultimately, all that we do is an offer. Salvation is an offer. And God will appeal to you. Make a decision today. Invest in, right? So that's all I'll keep doing. My book, Marketing for Christians, also covers a lot of spiritual principles when it comes to marketing. I will offer. I will repeat myself. I will keep saying it because every single day, we don't know who the Holy Spirit will awaken into prosperity. So join me tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Time in my school. Members can access that class as part of their membership. Non-members, we created a non-member one-day pass. If you want to access it, head over to toyinumesiri.academy. And those who miss it, there's always, my school will have replays. So you can still join it, even if you feel like, oh, I don't have time, the time is not right for me. You can still join and access it because 247, it's a platform that runs 247 as well. Thank you, everybody that joined me for today. Let me give you time to just share your parting words. Abba said, go ahead, Miss Abba. Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to be very quick on this, but I know it's a broad topic, but maybe some other time you can share me to flesh more on it, right? You quickly talked about God telling you that until, we're able to open our eyes and see what God has even provided for us. You understand? And you talked about Black Americans, creating, building wealth at this. Yeah. So early today, I was, listening to one of your interviews, and I was like, I think it's high time we African Americans, we need to start talking, start educating people back home on how to be investor ready. Like, we need to start talking about investor readiness, right? Because you know what I do, right? You know what I do. I really don't want to put my business out there, but you know that I have something doing
property,
back home.
yeah.
Yeah, but exactly what you talked about mindset. You understand? When you talk about mindset, how do people see investors? Do they see them as somebody who's just bringing in money for you to lavish and all that? Talking about aid versus trade thing, you understand? So, that was the time also you talked to me about me, trying to start speaking right on this issue. But that time I was like, oh no. But right now, Coach, I think I'm ready.
You're ready to count dollars.
I am ready. Because I've been there, I've done it, I've been burnt, right? Honestly. I talked about energy the other time. I'm talking about energy I received from trying to invest back home. You understand? I don't want to say a lot. But, there are several things, essentially, there are some problems that are peculiar to Blacks or African American trying to invest back home that the whites may not encounter. And we need to start talking about it and let our people back home.
Yeah, that's why
we need to know.
Yeah, so that's why for me, you will notice that the only people I will introduce are people that have gone through my training program. Right? Because of what you just shared. Because the reason I'm coaching now and teaching and doing all these things is because there are opportunities only those who do this work can participate in. If you don't do this work, you've already excluded yourself by default. People are already outside. Yeah, those who want to enter in. Part of what I had to design over the years is I don't want to assume that you are thinking or behaving in the way that the room expects you to behave. I don't want to make any assumptions. In fact, I assume anybody because this has taken me years and years and years to finally say, you know what? I will create a program I take people through before I can ever work with anybody. Because I'm coming from a place where I work with the highest, at the highest levels, world of business, Fortune, listen, at the highest levels, right? And there are standards and there are expectations and there's excellence required at those levels. Nobody's watering down any standard for anybody. So if anybody comes in with their, I don't even know what to say, whatever standard they are coming from, if you cannot level up, don't worry, just stay where you are. When I say quantum leap, right, is that you have to ascend in thinking, belief. You have to, God wants people, if he says he wants to take you from Egypt, he wants to take one generation of people from Egypt, okay, to the promised land in one generation. you can see that even at the tip, that generation failed. It was mindset, how they saw themselves. A story of who told, where did that narrative come from if it's not from Egypt? Okay? If it's not, there are narratives of Egypt you have to delete from your life forever, because you cannot carry that stuff. God is not pouring new wine in old wineskin. He's not. You can see in the scriptures. So if you want new wine, new anointing, there was a preaching last year I did, the birth of a new identity. There is a new identity when you go through this work. You become elevated, right? You are now operating at higher dimensions of levels, high net worth, high influence, high power, high impact. That's what we are talking about, where you start engaging at the highest levels. That's what that's why you have an entire school. I'm not saying a course or class. No, there are over 300 programs in my school. It's because the assignment is taking 3 years to even build those programs. 3 years of teaching almost every week. And then when I'm talking to God, I'm like, who are the people? The people God wants to go through this program. That's what is quantum leap. You will shift in a generation what people have taken 50 years to build. You want to build it. That's the assignment right now. And anybody that thinks, oh, they will be skipping and scrolling on social media, oh, they will be consuming content. Let's see how far that stuff will take people. Right? People have been consuming content for 5 years. It doesn't mean they're going to build wealth. You don't even understand that social media is not designed to help you build wealth. It is designed for you to use your energy to power the lives of the people that are building wealth with social media. The collective energy of people on social media is building billions of dollars for the Facebooks of this world. And you are building what? Okay. See, once we go, I can go quickly from Coach Toyin appealing to you, talking nicely to you. The moment you switch into business investment, you will see a different side of me. You will see the no nonsense, like straight to the point, like that's it. But we have to match. You see, we have to undo, so we have to use kids' glove first so that we can wash away stuff. You see, the same Jesus that will kneel down and wash your feet. One day, he will challenge you. Get up and walk. He will not even help you carry anything. You see, Jesus will not carry your crutch. He will say, carry your own cross. The same Jesus that bowed down, that washed the disciples' feet. The day you need to carry cross, you will carry cross. So we are not raising weak people. No. There are some programs you sign up, they are there to weaken you and make you dependent on those people that call themselves coach. This one, we are maturing warriors, financial warriors that will build their economies and communities economically. They will build wealth that will change lives and cities and nations and continents. That's what I'm raising. So yes, I can use kids' glove, hey, emotional intelligence, oh, human design. But the day you finish that program, that's when you say, okay, let's go. We'll throw you out there. You say, let's go. Now I trust you. That's why Mr. Abosede knows I will just say, okay, go and meet this person, go and meet that person, connect with this person. Here's the phone number, because you've gone through the program. I will not do that for anybody that refuses to go through that program. Many are called, few they are chosen. You know, find your own coach, find your own mentors. I sit at the feet of the world's most brilliant people. Like, listen, I learn from the best of the best because I'm called to be the best of the best and to operate at the highest levels in the world. Go and listen to your own calling and make sure your moves match your assignments. Make sure your moves match your assignments. God will not accept anything less. He's not here to play. If he says march around Jericho, march, willing and obedience. If he say, many people think God will fight their Goliath for them. I'm not going to talk too much because listen, come to my school, join my school, you access all this stuff. Christians think they will God would best see. David will say, you taught my hand to war, you taught me how to scale a wall. Most of these things, even in wealth creation, sales, marketing, branding, what I have found, and this is the conversation, part of my own conversation with God, is all of this is that Holy Spirit is training his people. And in that training, you see, if you are a baby, you know, somebody else is responsible for giving you formula food. When you're 5 year old, somebody else will be putting food on your plate. You're 10 year old, they'll say go and serve yourself. 15, they will even say learn how to cook spaghetti. You see, there's a certain maturity spiritually that what you are going to get, the only thing you are going to get is God's presence. His presence is what you are going to get. And he will be giving you instruction because he wants to train your hands. You see, when you are searching for a job, God will help you look for a job. He will do so much for you. You will find a lot of people that will rally around you to get all those things because he knows you are weak. He will help you your weakness. But if God is building strength in your life, he will put you in spaces where you will say, by strength shall no man prevail. Do you know what it takes to start telling that kind of testimony? What you are going to get and what is going to be enough. When God says to Paul, my grace is sufficient for you. That is the height of spiritual maturity, where you will go through what you need to go through because you are being forged. You are being forged, and God is more interested in the person you become and the power that comes out of that process. That is what is more important to God than your comfort. You see, when you're still saying, oh, yeah, right? It's still baby stuff. It's still baby stuff. But I'm telling you, part of this ascension, part of this process is fortification, strengthening. You want to build muscles. You don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to lift any weight. You're like, well, it's too heavy. Okay, go. Don't worry. This is not for you. We are looking for world weight champion. You want to box. You don't want to get in the ring. You want championship. You want Olympic medal. You don't want to train. You want trophies. Listen, guys, who are you kidding? You want the best. You want prosperity. You want wealth. You don't want to show up. You don't want to do anything. Okay. Go and create your own process and go through your own process. God has his process. And if you don't fall in line and discipline yourself and get this work done, who do you blame? But when you see us balling and living our life, please, so know that you made your own choices. Everybody makes their own choices too. See, in 1 minute I can be, oh, Toyin is so nice, she's so kind. In the next minute, I can go all fierce because ultimately your relationship with the truth is what will set you free. Our relationship with the truth will set us free. Many people are in relationship with crappy stuff. So I've said a lot. let me listen to the wrap up of America's Supermom and then One Love, and then we'll close it out. Thank you.
This has just been awesome and totally resonate with so many things that you have said. And, I mean, I'm still processing it because it's so simple, but the things that are simple are easy to do or easy not to do. And, it really is just another confirmation around the daily walk that I have, because nobody can go to the gym for you. And we have to be intentional with guarding our hearts and minds. So many of these scriptures just come to mind when you are purposeful for how you live. I love the part how you were talking about, the car is not going to stop you from driving off the cliff. But, we have so many people that we allow the TV to dictate everything that we do. You're not even thinking about fast food and you see a commercial, next thing you know, you're driving up there. When I first got into my coaching after my last hospitalization, I stopped watching TV and got off social media. And I really got clear on hearing God's voice, so much so that I just don't have any desire. To this day, I still don't watch the news or really know anything. It comes to me through other people, but there's a way that God has given me the gift of where it's filtered, because I be the person that get up in the morning, I'm feeling good, and the TV's on. Next thing you know, I'm the unpaid news anchor going around telling everybody what was on the news. And so bringing that energy. Well, now it comes where people bring it to me, but then I ask them questions, and then they're like, oh, I don't know. They didn't say anything about that. And it's like, the ability to even be curious is taken away from us when we immerse ourselves into this programming. We don't even realize it. It's just like second nature. We don't even think to ask a question. We just assume it just goes through, like we just let it all in. It's like open the door and letting it all flow and not even having any kind of guard or filter. And when you're intentional with, you just notice even the smallest things. So there's this book that I read for my kids when they were little about the princess and the pea. And so the story is, she's so in tune with sleeping that, there was a little pea, a small kernel of a pea underneath her mattress, and she couldn't sleep all night. And so we should be that conscious of the energy around us that it doesn't have to be loud. We should be able to move in silence, knowing these things. And a lot of the reason why we don't have that power is because we put a lot of junk in. We don't even have the filter that we, because we're not intentional with our time, with our thoughts, with our language. Another thing said about the labels. After my last hospitalization, I look up words now. I don't just prescribe to what people said. So one day the Lord woke me up and with the word deadline, and I just thought, you had a negative energy. Now, because I was a business major, and I looked up the word, and it meant a line around the prison, and when the prisoners crossed the line, they killed them dead. So I'm like, here we are using this language and then wondering why stuff isn't working out.
Yes,
yes. What we're saying. So it's so much stuff. This has just been wonderful.
Oh,
so
yes, yes.
No,
thank you. And I've been part of, I have a series in the school called 30 Keys to Unlock Success. You complete it in 30 days, one day, and each of it breaks down keywords, legacy, impact, right? All of the keys to success. There are 30 of those keys, and you go deeper because what's going on. And I see Forget Fast says, I'm learning so much. Definitely signing up for the class tomorrow. Definitely. I'd love to see you there in the class. It's going to change your life. Part of the work I've done also, when you think about words, is every single emotion, okay? It's like a database of thoughts. When you break down fear, doubt, right, confusion, whether it's when we say negative or positive, actually, we are labeling it wrong. It's not technically positive or negative because actually your mind does not know good from bad. This is what God was trying to prevent us in the garden. Okay? Is that the system He gave us does not say good or bad. It doesn't think that way. Your mind doesn't think good or bad because if it does, it won't be making you sick with bad emotion. It will be stopping, right? It won't be making you angry. It won't be making you confused on and on. It doesn't know the difference between good or bad in that sense. Your mind was not designed. Your mind does not know good from evil. It doesn't know. The mind copies and pastes your belief system. Okay? Your mind will give to you what you give to it. If you open your mouth and you eat donuts, it will give it to you. You open your mouth, you eat junk food, it will go into your cells. Just like your mouth is not designed to be questioning what you're putting in your mouth. When you just open your mouth, it will obey you. You put anything, it will crush it. Your teeth will crush it, send it in. You swallow it down with water. When it gets to your tongue, even if you eat things that are tainted, things that are toxic, Your mouth is not designed to discern bad food. Your eyes can see, your nose will smell. That's your judgment call. If you see the food and it looks somehow and you didn't stop, you smell it, it is not good. The milk is sour. You didn't stop. You heard somebody say this food made my tummy and you didn't stop. People are warning you. Your signals are warning you. This food is bad. You ignore all signals. You put that food in your mouth. Guess what will happen? When you develop diarrhea or whatever, don't worry. The mind is the same. We are saying, don't consume too much content. Some people will not listen. Don't scroll this. Some people will not listen. This is not good for you. Some people will not listen. Don't do this. They will not listen. Don't do that. They will not listen. They will keep ingesting, consuming. One day when they wake up in the morning and now they think hopelessness, lost, they are confused. Where did it come from? What you ingested, the people around you, on and on and on. This is, your mind does not know this from that. What knows good from evil? What knows the heart of God for your life is your soul spirit. The spirit of God will commune with your own spirit, will be talking. He's trying to tell you, trying to get your attention, trying to lead your life. And when you hear what it is saying, it is now your responsibility to discipline your mind so that your mind does not keep running in the wrong direction. You are the one that must mature and wake up and develop the skills and ability to now take charge of that mind and govern it. Renew your mind. Guard your heart, renew your mind is your duty. You are the one to guard your mind, because if you don't guard your mind, anything the mind grabs, it processes. Anything an unguarded mind is exposed to, it will manifest. Anything an undisciplined mind lays its hands on, it will produce. The reason Jesus says is guard it. Guard your heart, renew your mind, is that from your heart, your energy flows. From your mind, it processes information. When those two things collide, they are creating the quality of your life. They manifest first in your body. You will experience in your body those two things. Your emotions, dysregulations, confusions, doubt, fear. Each of those things, you can trace it back to a pattern of thinking. Anxiety is a pattern of thinking. When you think and believe what's going to happen to you in the future is not favorable for you, you believe that, your body will say, wah, 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 red flag, emotion, anxiety. Confusion, when you are missing direction, you don't know what to talk. Wah, 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 your body will give it to you. All emotions is processed thoughts and energy. And Holy Spirit will give you the LD one: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, good. Each of them too is a pattern of thinking. When you start handing your life over to God, joy, when you start believing that what God is bringing for you will make you excited. God wants you to be happy. How are you going to bring yourself to a happy place when you don't believe God is for you? You have to believe God is for you. You have to believe that what you want, He can give you. And He said it. He said it. Ask of me, right? Ask, you will receive. Seek, you will find. Knock the door. He has given you assurance for manifestation. But people don't know. They don't believe it. It can be in the word, but if you don't know and if you don't believe it, you cannot manifest it. You cannot manifest above your own consciousness. You can read the Bible, but you have to believe it. You have to mix it with your own energy. You have to have faith for those things to happen for you, for them to happen for you, because your system cannot be intruded by God's word. That's why Jesus says, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and then I will come in with him. It's because God built your system in such a way that He will not intrude in that same system. He's made you the governor of your own life. And that's why in the end, you will give account for how you use the energy and everything God gave you God will not give account for you. Your father will not give account for you. Your mom, no, you will give account. So God will not intrude in that system. He holds back, but he will appeal. He will present. He would attempt to love on you and guide you as best as he can until you open the door, because that mind is yours. That life is yours. He wants to support you, guide you, protect you, but you've got to let God in. You've got to let God in. But whatever you are letting in now is what you are manifesting. Whatever thoughts you are processing right now is what you are manifesting. Christians will go to church, spend 2 hours in church or 3 hours, and that's it. You don't know that spiritual practices at least 2 hours a day. Jesus said men ought always to pray. You don't know the practice of prayer is also that conversation you are having constantly with your divine nature. You don't know that's prayer. Okay. One love over to you, and then I wrap up, and then that's it.
Oh yeah, it's most definitely it's a mixture of detaching away from the old to receive the new, and I think detachment is the heart of things, and it's also having a vision of where you're going into a new world. You know, often people want a new world, but holding on to the old world, and it never happens. So you know, they are held back by their friends, their families, and the outside noise. When sometimes, you know, your manifestation is new people, new places, and new things. And, you know, it's just like a passport if you're going on a vacation. Who wants to go with you? If nobody wants to go, does that stop you from going? And that's just a reflection of your dreams and your manifestations. So I wanted to ask, how do you sign up for your course? I would love to be a part of your community.
Oh, thank you. I would love to have you join as well. So the link up above goes straight to the academy. There are 3 levels. The first level is the Quantum Leap community. We have tons of resources there. We also have the human design. There are 7 core classes on human design. You see the models, you see the diagrams, you see the PowerPoint, deep dive into emotional intelligence. This is the most advanced stuff. And so that first level, I actually pack a lot into that space. And then the second level is where we go into the entrepreneurship accelerator, entrepreneurs academy. Once you lay that foundation, that first level is for everybody that wants to achieve higher levels of success. And then if you are building a business and you want to structure a world-class business, I actually have a technical background in business structuring, right? So we go into 10 subjects, very intense, very advanced. That's the second level. And then the third layer is quantum coaching, where we then apply human design experience into business development. That's kind of like when you're ready to scale to higher levels, right? You've structured your business, right? You built a world-class business. The moment you want to take your business to higher levels, you now find classes that takes level 1 concepts, right? In level 1, you're working on you. When you get to level 3, you use all the emotional intelligence work. You now apply it on the people you are serving, right? So all the conversations I just had today, once you know this, you can then say, how am I going to use it in my marketing program, in my sales program? Because how you communicate with other humans, when you understand that humans at the soul level must shift, that business is an energy exchange, that for you to sell to people, people have to open their hearts to you. Closed out do not buy anything. They can be seeing things and their mind is saying, buy, this is useful. But if their heart is saying, I don't like this person, that heart is closed. They will not buy, because money is an exchange it's a material exchange of energy exchange. When somebody's heart, right, believes you, trusts you, finds you to be helpful to their advancement, then we can do business. So business follows that human to human transaction. So that's level 2. So you can, in that link, toyinumesiri.academy, you can select any of those 3, and any of those 3 will get you into the class tomorrow. Any of those 3 will get you into the class tomorrow. I know some people reached out to me last night asking for 1-day pass access. So what we then did today is, if you just want to test out the class tomorrow, you can sign up for 1-day pass access. But I encourage you to actually take all the other classes as well, because they are all connected with one another. And then if you still have any questions, feel free to reach out, send me your email. If you want to talk, I can, find time to do that. And so, yeah, so for me, again, I just believe so much in what God is doing for his people today. That's ultimately when you can sense it, when you can perceive it. I've been doing this work for years. I used to serve as a strategist for Fortune 1 Walmart, at the headquarters of Walmart. I left because I saw as a future some of the things I helped Walmart with 9-10 years ago is just manifesting now. So in the business world, we'll talk about futurist strategies, all of those things. In the spiritual realm, we have other names, we call that gift. But all of it is saying we have an incredible opportunity today to build wealth. We have tools, you have AI, you have platforms. Like, what took people years and 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 years to build out when it comes to wealth 20-30 years ago, what it took them to build wealth, today we can quantum leap. The tools at our hands, trust me, it's unreal. However, who is going to handle those tools? Who do we need to be? Okay, who do we need to become? What process do we need to go through? Okay, to be able to maximize this current opportunity. I hope people can see the opportunities. But I always say opportunities must be converted into transactions. In the world of international trade, everybody can perceive, opportunities, but it takes skills. In my book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur, first chapter, everything takes skills to manifest. So tomorrow in the class, I'm going to break down several things. If you don't believe right, you cannot think right. If you don't think right, you cannot build the right strategies. Even if you build the right strategies and you don't have skills, you cannot execute the strategies. Even when you have skills, to amplify and increase your impact, you have to automate. You cannot automate if you don't have predictable and repeatable processes, on and on and on. We're going to break it down because prosperity has a type of belief system, a type of thinking, a type of behavior, a type of skill. Okay. And then externally, you have to build what will help you collect. That's why Jesus will say, okay, you go and fetch water, right? Because if he wants to bring you wine, where are the tools? Where are the systems you are building? You see, some people, because money, I teach money when it comes to money policy, fiscal policies as well. Money is being printed and flowing hand to hand. It's like a river. But some people, if what you build is a cup, when we talk about business leverage, you build a cup, you're only waking up every day going to fetch with a cup. Some people are drilling, they will invest in drilling pipes that takes the water from the river into their house, so that when they wake up every day and they turn on the tap, there's water in their house. It's a different type of business model. But some business model, you have to wake up every day and go and fetch the stream. That's the old way. What systems would you build that will guarantee prosperity for the next generation? What brand would you build? See, that's why we start layering on these things. Yes, we can start with, work on your heart, work on, right? But where this is going is systems optimization, business model design, advanced business concept, because ultimately you want sustainability. I see many people running all over the place, attempting to build a business on their own body. You're only a one-man person, right? Don't crush yourself. You see, a pilot does not need to have muscles. They build the plane that has engine that can fly 200 plus people, 400 people. But somebody driving a bicycle will apply more energy because there's no efficiency in the bicycle. There's no engine. Don't build a business that is powered by your own limited energy. You wear yourself out and you won't get much out of it. You carry your bicycle, you want to go to California, God bless you. Some people are flying plane, some people are driving cars, some people are driving buses, some people, right? They will get there before you. It's science, engines, systems that will amplify your result. You ought to be investing in building those systems. Right? My background is systems optimization for the biggest brands in the world, multi-million-dollar businesses. I used to manage $250 million IT backend strategy for the biggest company in the world. They are investing 250 million building technology to amplify. What are they making? $600 billion annual revenue. Meanwhile, some people will still be saying, oh, I don't have $50. I don't have $100. I don't. Invest at your level and grow quickly. Grow quickly. Because that stuff is still child's play. Where God wants to take people, you listen, there are places where we talk about leverage. You will go to the bank to build the system that will help you build more wealth, and you give the bank back their money. You use other people's money, investor mindset. We go there. You don't have this, you don't have that, but you're buying shoe, you're buying handbag. Where are those? Can those things drive your future? And then lastly, let me give you something else to think about. 20, 30 years ago, who you were considered the future you are living in right now. And that 20, 30 years ago, that version of you made decisions that led you to where you are today. And this version of you must make decisions that in your 70s, 80s, you must be proud of. So if you are proud of your 16, 20, 25-year-old for the degree it chose to read, for the school it chose, because that version of you made decisions that influence the direction of your life today. The school you chose, what age were you when you chose that school? Whether you went to school, you didn't go, who made that decision? It was a younger version of you. So you are where you are today because 20, 30, right? How many years ago? That version of you took the courage to make certain decisions, make certain investments in your future. You have the future right now. You are enjoying that future. And I'm saying right now, you have the next 20, 30, 40 years. When you wake up in your 40s and 90s, it will look back and look at this moment and challenge you and say, did you make the right decision? Did you take the risk? Did you invest? Did you throw something into the future that you will go and meet when you arrive there? That your 70 will be sharing, right? Shares to your grandkids, that you will have legacy. Listen, the only way you can do those things is what you do with this moment God has given you. What you build today with the strength of the youth is what you'll be proud of. I hope people think this is how, listen, my dad has passed on. When you confront those kind of, it makes you think about life a different way. You have to reorder your steps and realize, oh, wait a minute. When all is said and done, because once I looked at my dad's legacy, I was like, whoa, this guy, you have to now start saying, wait a minute. How old are you? Right? Are you making the right decision? It forces you to consider your legacy, your impact, what other people will say. How would you use your own life in such a way that your children, grandchildren will have a story to tell? So this is much more than all those things people are saying, buy my product, buy my product. People will buy. Yeah. I did a project for United Nations, training entrepreneurs from 38 countries. People are buying, people will buy. Please, right? Go to Toyin Umesiri, buy. Buy. Yes, I'm calling you to buy. You will change your life. And I'm also adding on to that. My goodness, life is so much more than all these things we are talking about. Well-being, right? Meaningful relationships, your children, legacy. That's the real stuff we ought to be protecting and living for. And that is the life that you ought to be powering with your decisions. In the class, the Millionaire Mindset class, I actually challenge people. Don't start with what money you want to make. Start with the life you want to build. And then ask, what do I need to build that will help me, that will help me have that life? You see, people are getting these things reversed. You are pursuing money and using your life to pursue money. It's not worth it. Let money pursue you. Build, right? Build something that money will be pursuing. You every day today, some people will wake up, I'm going to Walmart, I'm going to JCPenney, I'm going to Target, I'm going to TJ Maxx. These people build what you wake up every day carrying your money to go on. Oh, I'm going to Coach, I'm going to this. You are busy every day pursuing them. Why? They have built and they manufacture things that is worthy of your own attention and energy. So every single day you carry your shopping bag, you go and buy bananas, but you don't ask, what supply chain did they build? What did they invest in that company? I'm saying build things that will attract people. They don't chase you. Even if they're going to chase you, they're chasing you with cookies on the internet. The founders and the inheritors of those things their founders built, they don't know your name. They don't know your name. They don't know your name. They're not looking for you. They're not coming to your social media platform and coming and watch your pages. They're not even asking you to like them. They don't know you, but you know their company and what their fathers built, and you are carrying your money there. Can we think like that and say, what would you build that the world will know you for? This is how I think, by the way. So if it's too much, don't worry. You read about us on the news. You read about us in the newsletter, because my contemporaries and my peers, this is what we talk about: legacy, impact, manifestation, transformation. All this other stuff. Click here. I know people that they don't even have login. They don't even know any of this social. They're not logging into social media. One of them was like, Toyin, what are you doing on YouTube? I said, I am teaching. I'm teaching. We have to teach. It's part of this assignment. Okay, oh, because he doesn't know YouTube. He hires people to do all these things for him. They are not looking. I mean, the people who have JCP, they are not. They don't know any of these things. But you are helping them become billionaires. Who is going to help you become a billionaire? What are you going to build that is going to manifest and bring people and serve the world in such ways? I pray that people think this way, because these things are available to you. We just have to think right and adjust. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go. I have to go. I'm going. I'm leaving everybody. I'm done.
I did send you an email. I sent you an email, and I also messaged you on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm kind of like, I do want to choose a course, but I want to make sure I'm on alignment with which one I want.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes,
whatever you can do. I would like to do the call soon because I want to catch tomorrow's.
Yes.
Meeting.
Yes.
So, okay, thank you.
No, thank you all. Listen, this is it. I'm just being. I mean, Miss Abo said they know. She's been with me for a while. She knows. She can tell you about her own journey. It's her story to share, right? But so I'm out here because there is an assignment and there is a call. In churches, you might call me a minister. I might bring Bible. I even have programs where, listen, I'll open Bible for you. This is what the Lord said. And then one day you find me on my TV show. You'll find, I host ambassadors. I want that. Listen, I don't coach them, right? I have TV shows where people come from Washington, D.C., presidential appointee will come to my TV show. I'm not there coaching them, right? I will just sit down, right? The conversation is, you can catch my TV show as well. It's also in the school, but I partner with my city, the city government. We do some stuff as well. So yeah, I occupy different spaces doing different things. But when it comes to teaching, coaching, this work, listen, this is my body of work. My husband is a professor. He teaches chemistry in a private university, Wheaton College here in Chicago suburb. And my late father was part of establishing 2 universities. So you can tell the reason I built institutions of learning for business is because I have that legacy in my background. In my dad's lifetime, he was part of establishing 2 universities from scratch. One was private, one was federal government, and he managed a lot of government finances. So I come from a highly distinguished family on the continent. And so when he passed, it awakened something in me. I was like, oh my gosh. Sometimes as immigrants, you come into America, you live the American dream, but then you forget a part of you. But when my dad passed several years ago, I was like, you know what? Let's I'm the daughter of my father. So anyway, God bless you. Mr. Bosede, I'll see you. You know how to get me. You have my number, you have everything there. Okay. God bless you guys.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.
You guys have a wonderful holiday.
Yes, yes, yes. And we're about to go for the fireworks and all that. So I got to run. God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Thank you, everyone. Closing out. See you around. Head over to toyinumesiri.academy. I'd love to see you there. Mr. Dr. Lushola, greetings to you. We're having a program tomorrow, manifesting prosperity. We're going to go